The wind was deadly, the night unforgiving, and a cowboy's pride almost got him killed until two Apache sisters made a choice that changed everything. One fire, one freezing night, and three lives about to collide in a way no one expected. This isn't just a survival story. It's about trust, loyalty, and a moment that turned strangers into family. If stories like this move you, subscribe to the channel, share this video with someone who loves powerful Western tales, and comment below, would you have stayed or kept running? The cold hit like a living thing, clawing through leather and wool, settling deep in my bones before I could fight it. The fire was weak, a tired orange glow barely standing against the screaming wind. My hands shook no matter how tightly I clenched them, pride refusing to surrender even as my body did. Across the flames, the two Apache sisters watched me in silence. Their faces were calm, unreadable, but their eyes missed nothing. I had survived bullets, betrayal, and hunger. Yet this night threatened to end me quietly, without drama, without honor. "You're freezing," the older sister said, her voice steady, not unkind. I shook my head, forcing a crooked smile, pretending the shiver didn't rattle my teeth. Cowboys were taught early that admitting weakness was worse than the weakness itself. The younger sister leaned closer, studying me with open disbelief. "Shut up, cowboy," she snapped, sharp and honest. "Tonight you're sleeping between us." The words hit harder than the wind. This wasn't teasing. It was a decision already made. I tried to refuse, muttering something about respect and space. But the wind answered for me, slicing through my coat like it wasn't there. The older sister's gaze hardened, not angry, just final. "Cold kills faster than pride," she said. "We won't bury you in the snow." There was no room for argument. They shifted their blankets, creating space, practical and precise. I realized then that survival had stripped them of unnecessary words. Every action had purpose. I swallowed my pride and lay down. The ground was frozen solid, but their blankets were thick, layered from seasons of hard travel. I lay stiff at first, afraid to move, unsure where I belonged in that narrow space. The younger sister pressed her back lightly against my side, her body warm despite the air. The older sister settled close on my other side, adjusting the blankets with practiced care. "Relax," she murmured. "You waste heat fighting." Slowly, the shaking eased, my muscles unclenching one by one as warmth crept back. The fire crackled softly, throwing sparks into the dark. The wind howled beyond the small circle of light, but it couldn't reach us anymore. I stared up at the stars, sharp and endless, feeling something unfamiliar settle in my chest. Safety, not the kind built from guns or distance, but from trust I hadn't earned yet, was given anyway. The younger sister sighed, already half asleep, while the older remained, her breathing calm and measured like a guard on watch. "You don't talk much," the older sister said quietly, eyes still on the fire. "Men who keep moving usually don't." I hesitated, then answered honestly. "If I stop, the past catches up." She nodded as if she understood too well. "Running keeps you alive," she said, "but it doesn't heal you." Her words cut deeper than the cold ever had. I had crossed miles of land trying to outrun memories that followed like shadows. The younger sister stirred, turning slightly, her voice softer now. "You're not dangerous," she said, almost surprised. "I thought you might be." I let out a weak breath of laughter. "I've been called worse." She smiled faintly, eyes closed. "Dangerous men don't shake when they're cold," she whispered. "They shake others." Her simple truth humbled me more than any insult ever could. I realized how carefully they judged people, not by reputation but by behavior. Sleep came in fragments, broken by the wind and the distant howl of something hunting in the dark. Each time I stirred, the older sister adjusted the blankets without waking me fully. Her movements gentle but efficient. She carried responsibility like a second skin. At some point, I felt the younger sister's hand clutch my sleeve. Instinctive, protective. It wasn't desire. It was survival. In that moment, I understood how alone they must have been to learn trust so carefully. Near dawn, the storm softened, the wind losing its rage. Pale light crept across the horizon, painting the snow in muted blues and silver. I woke fully then, warmth still wrapped around me, a feeling I hadn't known in years. The sisters were awake too, already preparing to move. The younger one met my eyes, a playful glint returning. "You lived," she said. "Guess we made the right choice." The older sister studied me closely, as if measuring something unseen. "You can travel with us today," she said. It wasn't a question, at least until the trail splits. I hesitated, feeling the weight of the offer. Traveling together meant responsibility, meant connection, meant no easy escape. But the thought of riding alone again felt colder than the night before. "All right," I said finally. "I won't slow you down." The younger sister laughed. "Try not to," she replied. "We don't carry dead weight." We broke camp quickly, each of us moving with purpose. As we rode out, the sun finally breaking through the clouds, I glanced back once at the place that almost became my grave. Between two strangers I had found warmth, and something else I couldn't yet name. Ahead, the trail disappeared into unknown land, and for the first time in a long while, I didn't feel the urge to outrun it. What I didn't know was that this choice would bind our fates in ways none of us were ready, for morning light revealed the land in harsh detail. Every ridge sharp, every track exposed. We rode in silence at first, the kind that isn't awkward but earned, like the plains belonged to them. Eyes scanning, bodies relaxed, I followed their lead, noticing how they communicated without words. A tilt of the head, a shift in posture. It struck me that surviving together had made them something more than family. It had made them a unit that didn't break. By midday, we found signs of trouble. Fresh tracks cut across the trail, careless and heavy. The older sister reined in her horse, raising a fist. Her eyes narrowed. "They're not hunters," she said quietly. "Too loud." The younger sister spat into the dirt. "Bounty men," she muttered. My gut tightened. I knew that kind of trail. Men paid to bring bodies back, warm or cold. And I knew deep down those tracks were meant for me. I reached for my rifle, instinctive. "They won't stop," I said. "If they catch us..." The younger sister cut me off with a sharp look. "We know," she said. "That's why we move smart." There was no fear in her voice, only calculation. The older sister pointed toward a narrow canyon where the land folded in on itself. "We lead them there," she said. "They won't expect resistance." I realized then these women weren't just survivors. They were strategists. We rode hard, hooves pounding, dust rising like smoke. The canyon walls closed in, towering stone that swallowed sound. We dismounted quickly, tying the horses out of sight. The sisters moved fast, positioning themselves high along the rocks. The younger sister glanced at me. "You shoot when we shoot," she whispered. "Not before." I nodded, heart hammering. Trust had become our only armor. The bounty men arrived loud and confident, laughing as if death was already counted. The first shot rang out, sharp and final. One man fell before he understood what was happening. Chaos followed. The sisters fired with deadly precision, every movement controlled. I covered their flank, dropping another man who tried to run. The fight was over almost as quickly as it began. Silence returned, broken only by labored breathing. When it was done, I stood shaking. Not from cold this time, but from the weight of it all. The younger sister wiped her blade clean, eyes hard. "They won't follow anymore," she said. The older sister turned to me. "Now you tell us," she said calmly. "Why men hunt you?" There was no accusation, only expectation. I took a long breath and spoke the truth I'd been running from. About the job gone wrong, the man I refused to kill, the price put on my head when I walked away. They listened without interruption. When I finished, the younger sister scoffed. "You chose not to kill," she said. "That's why they want you dead?" I nodded. She smiled, fierce and proud. "Good." The older sister studied me a moment longer, then nodded once. "Then you ride with us longer," she said. "No one deserves to die for mercy." Days turned into weeks. We shared trails, fires, stories. I learned their names, their losses, the land that shaped them. They learned my silences. Somewhere along the younger sister treated me relentlessly, calling me freezing cowboy whenever the wind picked up. The older one watched over us all, steady as the horizon. One night, as we sat beneath a sky thick with stars, the younger sister leaned close and smirked. "Remember the first night?" she asked. "You looked like you'd die of pride." I laughed, real and unguarded. "You saved my life," I admitted. The older sister stirred the fire. "We didn't save you," she said. "You stayed." Her words settled deep. Staying had been the hardest thing I'd ever done. At dawn, the trail finally split. One path led west toward land they called home. The other stretched south, back toward the life I'd been running from. We stood there a long moment, the decision heavy. The younger sister broke the silence. "You could keep running," she said. "You're good at it." The older sister met my eyes. "Or you could stop," she said, "and build something." I looked at the westward trail, feeling the warmth of that first night again, the trust given without condition. I'm done running, I said. The younger sister grinned. Good, she replied. Because tonight, if it's cold, you already know where you sleep. We rode west together, the past finally behind me, the future unwritten, and the fire ahead burning stronger than fear.